Hey, brothers and sisters, welcome to the third episode of A Dose of Faith. And today, we're going to talk about a very serious subject, and that is theft. Stealing? And you may be thinking to yourself, yo, are you seriously going to talk to us about something so simple? Something so elementary? We all know stealing is wrong. We all know it's a major sin. Talk to us about something worth talking about. Tell us about something we don't know. But believe it or not, brothers and sisters, a lot of us take part in this sin every single day. For most of us, it's become so routine that we don't even realize we're doing it. People are concerned with whether or not one should put their hands above each other when standing in prayer. We argue endlessly about things like entering the bathroom with our right foot, the length of our beards if we have them, and other similar issues. But when it comes to the fundamentals of our religion, most of us have no clue. When it comes to the issues that will really get us in trouble with God, the issues that will actually make us or break us, they are ignored for some reason, consciously or unconsciously. And as mentioned previously, one of the aims of this show is to try and address a lot of these subjects. We got to try and shift our mindsets, people, so that we focus our energies and efforts on the essentials first. What are you going to tell God on the day of judgment when He doesn't want to even see you because you spent your life stealing? And brothers and sisters, I have a confession to make. I must admit, I myself was guilty of this sin for a period of time. And in today's episode, I'm going to give you 2 examples of the subtle ways in which we steal, using myself as an example. There's a lot of other scenarios we could discuss, but that's not the point of this episode. All we want to do is to try and raise awareness about this crucial issue, and I'm sure we're all responsible enough to extrapolate the concept to our lives and take action when necessary. So without further ado, I present to you example number 1. Now, back in my university years, I organized a dinner called the Ramadan Farewell Dinner. And the aim of the event was to bring Muslims and non-Muslims together in order to socialize and basically to strengthen relationships. Now, obviously, the most important task of organizing a dinner is to arrange for the food. And I wanted to indulge my guests with some classical Asian cuisine. Something not too spicy, but something mesmerizing. And butter chicken was what I had in mind. So I sat down and started phoning up some restaurants, and I narrowed it all down to a certain restaurant I had eaten at several times in the past. So I'm talking to some guy there, and this restaurant happens to be owned by very observant Muslims, by the way. So, we're talking and discussing the details, and I finally say to him, so how much are we looking at? How much bling bling is this all going to cost? And he says, $800 plus tax. I'm like, yo, man, that's kind of expensive. Can you hook us up a bit? It's for a good cause and it'd be like a charity to you. How about the brothers and sisters? And he pauses for a while and says, alright, I'll tell you what. If you pay cash, I'll charge you $800 without the tax. In other words, since I'll be paying cash, it won't have to go in the books, and the government will never know that the transaction ever took place, from my pocket to his. That's what we call tax evasion, people. I'm like, you got yourself a deal, bro. I felt good, man. I just saved more than $100. So I got off the phone, and my brother happened to be sitting in the room while I was negotiating. And I looked at him with pride and said, you're looking at a born businessman. He then nodded his head in disappointment and said, and you guys call yourselves Muslims? Organizing an event in the name of Ramadan and stealing money from the government to fund the event? What a disgrace. I'm sorry, bro, but I want nothing to do with this event. I won't help you organize it, and I certainly won't be attending either. And believe it or not, brothers and sisters, his words struck me like lightning. I felt ashamed of myself. There I was, full of joy for having found a way to trick the government. But when you come to think of it, it's downright stealing. And my conscience was quickly starting to ache. I couldn't help it. So I picked up the phone and called the restaurant back and said to the guy, I'll be paying by check. I'll be paying the extra $100. And how many of us have spent our lives involved in such disgraceful activities, tax evasion, living off welfare illegally. We all know the different methods, people. How many of us feel a sense of achievement, a sense of success, when we bypass the system and take what is not ours? And I've heard some people say, yo, man, what you talking about? Why the big fuss? Didn't you know that it's okay to steal from a non-Muslim government and from non-Muslims in general? No, brothers and sisters, hold it right there. What kind of Islam are you preaching? Didn't you hear about the incident that took place with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he had just finished praying the funeral prayer with some of the companions, and a Jewish man came up to him? The man grabbed the beloved messenger by the shirt and looked at him with anger and said, "O Muhammad, give me back what you owe me." The companions that were with the Prophet were insulted. What the heck is this guy doing to the Prophet of God? Omar's eyes were going to pop out of his head. This great companion was so enraged that he said to the man, "Did you just say what I heard you say? I swear to God, if I didn't fear the Prophet's reaction, I would have killed you on the spot." So the Prophet, peace be upon him, looked at Omar calmly with a smile and said to him, "Omar, we don't need this now. I would rather you give me advice on paying back his loan." Yo, that's deep, people. Seriously. And the Prophet asked Omar to go with the man and pay him back more than what was owed to him, because Omar scared him. So not only does the Jewish man get back what was originally owed to him, but he gets back a bit more because Omar frightened him. And people, this was 2 or 3 days before the loan was due. The Prophet could have easily told him to come back in 2 days. That's what Islam is about. That's what our Prophet taught us. Don't attribute things to Islam that are not true. Not only was the guy a Jew, but he was extremely rude to the Prophet. So if this concept of stealing from non-Muslims had any truth to it, it would have certainly applied here. But it doesn't. Because we're Muslim and we are obliged not to take what is not ours. And for the record, people, this Jewish man accepted Islam because of this incident. And our young viewers may be thinking, phew, thank God I have no business with the government yet. But rest assured, my young brothers and sisters, I won't let you get off that easy. Example number 2 will probably be relevant to you along with everybody else. I hope it doesn't, but it probably will. What's example number 2 about? Pirated software, pirated DVDs, movies, games, music programs, you name it. Now we've got everybody smiling. Bro, you're heading down to Lebanon for vacation? Wicked! Can you hook me up with some pirated CDs and DVDs? Here's a list of the software that I want. God bless you. Yo, bro, yo, there's nothing wrong with it, man. Everybody does it. Stop making a big deal out of everything. Yo, just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's right. Yeah, but I don't think XP is worth $250. People, think about it. I want to buy XP. So I go to the store and check out the price. Yo, $250? That's expensive, man. I know. I'll just tell Shes to get it from Beirut for $3. What a great idea. Why didn't I think of that before? In other words, I'm not going to pay the developer of the software the price he's asked for his efforts. Nah. Instead, I'm going to get the same product by paying some mojo running a computer store in Lebanon. People, that's what we call stealing. Stealing, people, it's no joke. Can you imagine the gravity of this situation? This is not some minor sin. It's major, man. Sister, it's one of the biggest sins you can commit. What do I do, man? I've been doing this my whole life. Stop immediately. Give it up right now. Stop stealing from the government. Stop buying pirated software. Stop taking things like blankets from hotel rooms. Stop stealing wireless internet from your neighbor. Stop stealing company time by coming late and leaving early. Stop it all today. I think you'll be wanting some alone time with God now. So I'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you next time on A Dose of Faith.